If you're thinking about moving from an Android phone to an iPhone, then this video is for you. For many months now, I have been using the Pixel 6 phone as my preferred Android phone and an iPhone. And every time I go out daily, a lot of people ask me the same question: which phone do I prefer? Now, there's no easy answer, but basically Android does something better than an iPhone and vice versa. So in this video, I'm going to be going over the best and the worst things about switching from an Android phone to an iPhone. Now, without taking too much of your time, let's get this party started. Hey guys, my name is KJOS, and if you're new here, welcome, and if you're returning, welcome back. Now, if you have anybody that is in this current dilemma of trying to switch between an Android phone to an iPhone, then please do mind sharing this video with them, as well as subscribing to the channel if you love videos like this. Now, if you've been an Android person your entire life, navigating through iOS or an iPhone might be a bit jarring because it's going to affect your everyday life and your everyday lifestyle. But I'll tell you this for free, iOS is one of the easiest user-friendly experiences in the world right now. Now, navigating the iPhone can be very different if you've been an Android user most of your life. But like I said at the beginning of the video, ease of use is something that is underrated when it comes to iOS. Now, the first few days or a few weeks are going to be very annoying because you're going to be exposed to new things, like newer icons, the navigation bar is different, settings are different, even how to transfer files are going to be different. But I'll tell you this for free, after a couple of weeks, you will get used to it. That being said, navigation on the iPhone isn't all that rosy. First of all, you can only swipe left on your phone to go back out of a menu, whereas on Android, you can literally swipe anywhere on the screen if your phone supports gesture navigations. So top left, top right, bottom right, top anywhere is actually kind of intuitive. Now, another thing you need to know if you're switching is the fact that widgets aren't that great on iOS. Now, if you're a big widget person, you might be disappointed because as much as iOS or Apple have tried to upgrade their widget system, it's not even coming close to what Android is, especially on Android 12 or Pixel's Material U. Now, customization is also seamless on Android, whereas Apple, you're kind of boxed into that ecosystem that you can only customize your icons. And that process is a very long thing, and I can't even be bothered. So I just use the default menu that is given to me when you unbox the phone. Honestly, I don't really care. So if you care about all these things I just said about navigation and whatnot, you might find it challenging to use an iPhone. Speaking of iOS, I know you guys have heard this sentence before. I can't leave Apple because of that ecosystem. Now, I know a lot of people say it, but it's kind of true, especially if you're going to pair your iPhone with your MacBook Pro or your iPad or an iMac. Now, personally for me, since I got my MacBook or the iPad or the iMac, my productivity has increased by a different level entirely. AirDrop, as simple as it is very convenient. When I'm editing a video and need images I took, I can easily just send it to the Mac within a few seconds. But that isn't even the icing on the cake. It's universal control. Now, if you've not heard of universal control, Apple announced it at WWDC last year. The idea is to seamlessly control multiple Apple devices with one mouse or one trackpad. It is one of the craziest things I've ever used, and bruh. So if you're going to move, that ecosystem will trap you. And to be fair, it's a good thing. A lot of people don't like saying that or like hearing it, but Apple ecosystem actually improves your productivity at some level. Now, I know that Android have nearby share, and that is not exclusive to every device. At the same time, it's also not exclusive to Windows devices, so not every laptop that isn't a Mac can get it. So exactly why nearby share might be great, but it's not there yet. Now, another thing I love the Apple ecosystem for is the fact that if I press a command on one thing, it affects every other thing. For example, if I press Do Not Disturb on my MacBook, it affects my iMac, it affects my iPad, which is great, especially if I'm working and I don't want to take calls on one thing. It affects every other thing across board because once you get a phone call, it turns on all your laptops or your MacBooks or your iPads. So that's really great. Now, Siri versus Google Assistant is an old age battle, and we all know Google Assistant is the better voice assistant that is out there because of how smart she is, continuous conversations, and how well she just can remind you about stuff you forgot, especially if you're connected with the speakers and whatnot. And of course, she tells better jokes.
What do you get when you put a vest on an alligator? An investigator.
Now, I'm not even saying that Siri isn't that smart, but at the same time, I'm not saying she's dumb, if you catch my drift. Now, if you use Google Assistant every day like I do, to set reminders, to play music, to do a lot of things, you're going to find Siri a bit lackluster. But at the same time, Google has amassed so much data on your YouTube journey, on your Google search, and put it all in your phone, which is easier for you. That is actually kind of scary when you think about it. Now, onto the physical aspect of both Android and iOS, and if you're trying to move from one to the other, there's not much of a difference, because right now, 2022, a lot of phones more or less look the same, just a few different iterations here and there with the camera bump and whatnot. And I'll tell you this for free, the one thing you're gonna hate, trust me, the one thing you're gonna hate when you're switching from Android to iOS is for the fact that you're not going to be using USB-C anymore. You're going to be using the iPhone's lightning cable. Now, USB-C is like the universal language for chargers right now, and it still kind of bums me out that an iPhone is still using a lightning cable. Now, when I'm traveling or going for short trips and I'm carrying my MacBook or my iPad, I can carry a USB-C charger and charge all my devices across board without any issues. But once you pick up that iPhone 13, 12, or whatever iPhone you're using, just know that you're going to have to pack an extra cable for the iPhone. It's very inconvenient, to be fair, and carrying a lot of chargers can be very messy in your bag after a while. But the one thing I know you can assure yourself on, no matter the time of the day, is the fact that the battery life, especially on the iPhone 13 Pro and the 13 Pro Max, are literally better than most Android phones that are out there right now. Now, Samsung just released the S22, S22 Plus, and the S22 Ultra. The iPhone 13 Pro Max is better than all three. It's kind of crazy, especially when you realize that the iPhone has a lower mAh of battery than these three new phones that came out this year. And it's kind of crazy. It just shows that Apple know how to optimize their phone with iOS and that new A15 Bionic chip. And I honestly cannot wait to see what they do with the iPhone 14 and the 14 Pro when it comes to the battery life. Personally, battery life is one of the best things, or one of my key features when I want to buy a phone. Now, the Pixel 6 Pro, on the other hand, even though it was gifted to me by Google, the battery life isn't so great. So you might want to think about that when you're trying to switch. By the way, I will be having the S22 Plus in the studio, I think next week, depending on when Amazon wants to send me this package. But if you want to see videos like that, I am going to be showing a lot of content. So if you want to see that, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Okay, so these are my other thoughts to consider when trying to move from an Android phone to an iPhone. So you're going to make the switch. Remember that an iPhone is going to give you better resale value than any Android phone that is out there. And I can give you an example. An iPhone 10 in 2017 costs $464 on Amazon right now, while the Galaxy S8 that came out in the same year cost $264, while the Pixel 2 came out in the same year cost $158. The resale value of an iPhone is utterly ridiculous, so you should really consider that when you want to switch. Personally, both ecosystems are great, and like I said at the beginning of the video, Android does something better than iOS, and iOS does something better than Android. It's just the way of life. Now, I will be doing a part 2 of this video of moving from an iPhone to an Android sometime in the next coming weeks. So if you want to see that, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and also share this video and like this video with your friends, especially the ones that are facing the dilemma of what phone and what ecosystem to move into. Thank you guys for watching. My name is KJOS, and I will catch you guys in the next one where I talk all things tech.